Welcome. Great to have you with us. Big weekend. And the big weekend means high school, college, and pros. So Steeler fans, you're happy. Without question. And Penn State fans, which we'll get to in a moment. But first, we'll start with Friday night. Your game Friday night. It's a great win for State High.
That's a very good win, and that's a team that really has been. They had State College's number for the better part of the last 10 to 12 years. State College beat them last year, and now they beat them again this year. And now you start to slowly see the momentum going in the favor of State College, and it was really a dominant victory, too, for State College. I thought it did a great job offensively. They're showing that no matter, you can key on Sheffy, they're going to beat you through the air. I think that's what the dimension that Corkery brings to the table, the job he's done, and they got a lot of playmakers on that offensive side of the ball. Salazar's had an unbelievable season for this team. Gall can hit you in any different way, and
that's John's son. So.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I've known him since he was yay high.
He's a heck of a player. Absolutely heck of a player. And there's so many weapons. So on this State College offense, it's basically a pick your poison. Central Dauphin didn't adjust, but the reason they didn't adjust is number 0's in the backfield. And that's the biggest reason. They loaded the box for that reason because they know he could beat them, but you run the risk of the other guys beating you who are becoming incredible players. And Salazar, one of at the top of the list. Another 8 catches. Just an unbelievable player.
Yeah. And that's, that's thrilled for him, thrilled for John. And that's great. And Holly, of course. You never leave Holly out. If I leave Holly out, I'm in big trouble. Big trouble. All right. Saturday. The post-game show, the first question I asked James was, what does it mean to a coach when you see your team then play the way you practiced? Because that is how they practiced all week. The ability to go out and execute a game plan, first of all, defensively. I mean, now, technically, these 8 straight possessions that are 3 and out or less, the definition of how they do it statistically, 3 and out, is it ends in a punt. Well, that's now how I calculate it. If you get a takeaway within the first 3 plays, right, to me that's a 3 and out. That's 8 possessions in a row where Iowa either punted or turned it over in the first 3 plays of the drive. Like, yikes. That tells you everything about what you did defensively. They smothered them. Iowa got a first down on the pass to Eric All. They got a first down on the Cade McNamara 18-yard run where Penn State just lost him on the outside. That happens. Mm-hmm. And then they got the first down on the Eric All shuttle pass that he fumbled, and Penn State recovered at the 18, then turned around went the other way, got a field goal. That was it for first downs until the fourth quarter. Yeah.
Negative yardage up to the fourth quarter in the next 2 quarters.
Hey, they got the vast majority of the yards on their script.
Yeah.
Remember, people have seen Illinois drove it and then did nothing for how many quarters? I mean, they finally got it late. It was 30-7 when they got their last touchdown. It was 30-7, and Penn State had already emptied the bench at that point. But they got their yards on their script. Well, same thing with Iowa. They got yardage on their script. But after they had to go off script, they couldn't get anything. Offensively, on a night like Saturday, they still ran the ball for over 200. Drew Aller was really efficient. Drew hit his first 9 passes in the game. The 4 touchdown passes the two to Tyler Warren, Keandre Lambert-Smith, and Khalil Dinkins. Could they have been thrown any better? The Dinkins call on fourth down. They're fourth down about a half yard, maybe almost a yard at the 9. So they go for it, right? So you have him there, and you have Dinkins split out to the far side. Not way out, but he's off the formation, split out. This is your third tight end in the game. And that's who he went to and got the touchdown. It's a great call. It's not what people expect. The ball is thrown so well, and Dinkins makes a nice catch. I mean, look, you gotta finish the play. But it's just a great throw. The two to Warren, the throwback is just to make it 17-0.
Yeah.
It's just well set up.
Oh, incredible.
He's wide open, and he just lays it out there and he catches it. The second one where he drills it in the back of the end zone, phenomenal, right? But then the Lambert-Smith play, I mean, Lambert-Smith's being grabbed on the play. Interesting, there was no flag, but he was being grabbed and kind of pushed on the play, and he could not have laid the ball in any better. And Lambert-Smith, to his credit, the great concentration, and the concentration was tremendous. Look, they played a great game. They win 31-0. It's interesting how Penn State just continues to keep playing well, getting better, and they continue to really fly under the radar. Notre Dame and Ohio State was considered the big game on Saturday night. That's fine. And it was, I have only seen I saw the pass play in terms of highlights later.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't watching it when Penn State was playing. I hate to say what Notre Dame should have done.
Well, but I think a lot of people have already said what Notre Dame should have done.
Well, I don't know if you've heard this. If I'm Notre Dame, I got 10 guys in the field, no timeouts.
No timeouts. You're going to move the ball a half a yard, taking a penalty.
Nope.
I would have done that.
Nope. One of your guys has to go down.
Yeah, you do that too.
Right? You have to send the training staff out, take a look at them, and guess what?
Yeah.
And you send 2 guys out, and now you're at 11.
Yeah, absolutely.
You don't lose the yard.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I hate to say that's the way to get around it without giving up a penalty.
Yep.
Okay.
Especially how well, and I had the chance to go back after Penn State game, got home. I had the chance to watch a little bit of that game, and especially how well Notre Dame's defense played in that second half. Just absolutely shut down Ohio State. You get that fourth down stop. You probably were one first down away from winning that game. And
why is Notre Dame throwing the football?
I
mean, I don't get that part.
Sense.
Make them drain timeouts.
Absolutely.
I realize that
you left them with 2 timeouts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, what are you doing?
Yep. Yeah.
I mean, your job is to...
Because intentional grounding there, you had a timeout left. You don't, it's a 10-second runoff.
All right. Yeah.
Yeah, that absolutely.
I don't...
But yeah, to your first point, I think absolutely. Ohio State wants to do it's us against the world, whatever. Penn State has definitely flown under the radar in college football thus far. I think defensively the recognition's getting there, but as a team, I think they are still, for the most part, under the radar, and it's definitely fine.
They'll get their own opportunities.
Yeah.
Okay, so
absolutely.
That's why it doesn't,
you're going to get 2 big chances down the road here.
It doesn't even make me think twice about it.
No, they shouldn't. It shouldn't.
But you look, Georgia's the defending national champion, so they get a lot of pub. Okay, and look, they've earned it. They've won.
Yeah,
let's face it. They've gone to the promised land twice and won it. Michigan. Everybody in America would love to have played their schedule.
Yeah, first 3 games especially.
But they're getting a lot of publicity because Jim was suspended.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now he comes back. It's like, oh my God, they beat Rutgers 31-7. Wow.
And that tough Rutgers team put 7 points on to start the game.
Yeah. Well, but Rutgers
is a better team. I will agree.
Greg Schiano's done a really good job.
Remarkable job.
They are better. They're physically and mentally tougher than they've ever been.
Yeah.
All right. Texas, to their credit, they went to Tuscaloosa and won, and were impressive doing it.
Mm-hmm.
They played really well. Understand that. I'm still trying to figure out why Florida State gets so much credit for beating LSU in a neutral field when LSU has not really played well. I mean, how well's LSU played? I mean, how good is that win? I don't know how good that win is.
No.
I mean, what they beat Arkansas at home the other night, 34-33, 34-31, kicked the field goal at the end to win. I mean, they won at Clemson. Clemson's a 500 team.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. Struggled the week before.
Right. Now, USC, I guess, you'd have to correct me. The USC fell behind Penn State because I watched.
They did.
I watched some of the Arizona State
in one of the polls. Yeah.
The problem they have, and it continues to crop up all the time, is their defense is not. Their defense is good, but it is not beyond
breakable.
USC's defense is not very good. It is not great. It is good.
Yep.
They are able to overcome some of it because they do get a lot of takeaways. Now, that's the mark. A defense getting takeaways is critical. But if a team can play clean against them, they will score a ton of points on them. And Arizona State scored a ton of points on
28.
them. And that's what happened to Lincoln Riley at Oklahoma. That is what's happening to USC under Lincoln Riley and Alex Grinch out there. And that it continues to be a problem. Now they've got Colorado this week. Colorado just got its lunch handed to it by Oregon. USC in all likelihood will do the same thing, but I will say this. I expect Shedeur Sanders and that offense to at least get points against USC, which they could not get against Oregon. But there is no way in heck Colorado is even going to remotely slow down USC. Because here's the reason why. Let's give Deion Sanders and his staff credit for this. Even though they've transformed the roster, which everybody knows. In fact, when it comes to Colorado football, based on Twitter and Instagram, everybody knows everything about the program. But what you have to do as a coaching staff is that you have to realistically look at your team and say, hey, how can we mask our deficiencies? Well, Colorado has deficiencies.
Yeah, too many at the moment.
They have deficiencies on defense. And look, I'm not talking out of turn here because they lost. I talked about this.
No, this has been an issue
I've
from the start.
I've been talking about this all season.
Absolutely.
Right? Their offensive line is no better than okay.
Right.
And their defense is no better than okay, except Hunter makes a difference at the corner.
Yeah. No better than okay, and they have no depth at defense. And that's not going to help you either at all.
None. So that's why I said that Oregon was probably going to boat race them because they can't stop anybody. And Oregon is a really good offense. Well, if you think Oregon is a really good offense, what do you think of USC?
Yeah.
They got to go in there. And I realize it's going to be 10 a.m. local time. So USC's, so for the USC body clock, it's going to feel, 9 a.m.?
Yep.
9 a.m.?
An hour difference.
But they're still going to boat race them because
I think so.
Colorado can't stop them, and they can't stop Caleb Williams. They can't do it. They're not good enough. So I give Deion and his staff in the first 3 games a lot of credit for masking their deficiencies and opening the door for them to win. Right? And they should get a lot of credit for that because good coaching does that. But at some point, what happens as you're masking your deficiencies week by week? Everybody watches tape
it and sees it.
And they see your deficiencies and what they're trying to mask. And now you sit there and go, okay, we can do this, 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 and this. We just have to go out and execute it. And that's what Oregon did. They went out and executed it. Notre Dame's big issue is I still say that in the end they don't have enough athletes. They don't have a big-time wide receiver. Hartman helps out
Yep.
a lot, but they don't have a big league wide receiver.
No.
And they don't have enough speed in a couple spots on defense,
Yeah.
which hurts them. They don't have enough athletes. For Notre Dame, it's going to show up when they play USC. It is going to show up when they play Clemson, because I think that game's on the road.
Yep.
And it's going to show up when they play Duke. Believe it or not.
Yeah, this week upcoming. Yeah,
it's going to show up
on
when
the
they
road.
play Duke. Yeah.
So Duke's a good football team. They have played incredibly well this year. They've been tested.
And Duke is more athletic than Clemson.
Yeah.
Right?
No doubt.
You sat there. I'm watching the game. Like, they've got better athletes. I give them credit,
Especially defensively.
Yep. And that's where Notre Dame's issue is going to come in. Their quarterback can take them so far because he's probably the best one they've had since Brady Quinn.
Been the best for a while, yeah. I think so. And then,
I know we all love Ian Book. They're not even in the same category.
No.
But Hartman is also a guy that will make a pro roster, but he'll be down the line. He's not a pro. He's not a pro starter.
No, he also has a great offensive line in front of him this year too at Notre Dame. That's
they
help.
protect him well.
Yeah, that's going to help considerably.
They protect him well. But again, they don't, especially a wideout. They don't have enough. They don't have enough athletes or quality players. They haven't had a quality wideout there since the Fuller kid that ended up going.
Yeah,
Houston.
Fuller. Yep.
Bill tried to recruit him badly here to Penn State. Thought he had him, and then he finally drafted him in the NFL.
Yeah.
I said to somebody, well, he finally got Fuller. And Clemson, Florida State, I felt bad for the kicker. Now, that game I did watch because I figured I'd watch that all the way through until it came time to go over to the game. And so that game I did watch. And the big play, of course, was the one where the running back, and it was not Shipley, it was the backup running back, completely missed the defensive end coming in. Then, and I know for Klubnik, that's, but Klubnik is turned looking to the far side anyway, so he doesn't see him, and the fumble, he runs it back for a touchdown. That's the play that in the end, that's the killer for Clemson. Too many mistakes. They make a lot of mistakes.
Yeah.
A lot of penalties. And that's, when you look at past Clemson teams, the really good ones they've had, they didn't make a lot of mistakes.
Nope.
But they also have more talent.
They have more talent.
Well, they only have more talent than everybody else.
Yep.
I mean, they have 2 losses now. Saturday's game with Florida State will not be their last loss of the season.
No.
But Florida State will
they'll be tested a few more times here.
Yeah.
There's no doubt about that, and they've got to be better. I think without a doubt. They're a team that they're one of the, to me. I mean, the rankings to me still don't mean anything until playoff time rolls or until playoff rankings roll around.
But where anybody's ranked right now. Have you noticed on the broadcast? Have I ever once mentioned what Penn State's ranked?
No, and
you want to know why? Because the only time it matters, because the AP does not determine the national champion. Okay, the AP does not determine who's in the Final Four.
Nope.
The coaches poll does not determine who's in the Final Four. When the college football playoff rankings come out at the end of October.
Yep, should be. That's what matters.
That's when now you pay attention about where you're ranked. Who cares where you're ranked? It's irrelevant. I mean, you have to apply some relevancy to what's going on in sports today. And the AP says you're like, I don't care what the AP says with you. Now it's good. It's good to put numbers next to teams. So when you're sitting there trying to promote a game, things like that. Hey, Penn State beat 24th ranked Iowa the other night. Yeah, Iowa's ranked 24th. They beat them. They were undefeated. Okay, that's great. But the bottom line is they don't determine anything. They just put out a poll. It's like the AP basketball poll. Ooh, wow, that's great. And it can sell you maybe a few more tickets for a game if you're ranked. And Penn State, when they were ranked in 2020, got up as high as 9th. Hey, there's a lot of excitement and groundswell around it. And that was, and that was big for the promotion of the program. But there's a tournament. You got to get in the tournament. So that's why, to me, I don't worry too much about it. Just keep winning games. Now, let's give Northwestern credit. Northwestern is they beat UTEP. So they lost the opening game to Rutgers, didn't look good. They lost to Duke, didn't look good. But Duke's good, and the game was in Durham, down at Walls Way. Mm-hmm. They beat UTEP. UTEP's not good. Right. There's not. But then they're playing Minnesota, and they are getting, their hat handed to them at halftime. And they're down 21 starting the fourth quarter. Now, what do you think is going to happen to Northwestern? What do you think is going to happen to them? Yeah, they've had a lot of trouble.
I was going to say, especially with the issues. Yeah, they'd probably
all the issues and like that. Okay, whatever. And they came back and tied it. Give them credit. Now, the only part I watched, I'm going to take more time tonight, and I'm going to watch before the Eagles game, because I've got I did all the chart work yesterday and went to practice last night. So that part's done. Plus, I was grading projects, too, for my class. But I did see overtime, because we were doing the chance. We were doing the post game, because you were in there with Kyle. Yep. And you saw that I didn't put it on. I don't know who put it on, but it was on the TV up top. Mm-hmm. May have been Roger that put it on.
I believe it was.
And we looked up, and I saw Minnesota get down to the 3-yard line, or down to the 4-yard line with Calic Manis. I'm like, oh, okay, they got a real shot here. They'll get a touchdown and whatever. And then they blitzed off the edge on third down. And I couldn't tell if it was Gallagher or Muller. Those two, I'll tell you right now, Xavier Muller and Blake Gallagher, okay, are two really good linebackers that could play for anybody in this league. They are really good. Really good. And one of them blitzed off the edge on the third down, and Calic Manis was already rolling out, and he got to him, and Calic Manis threw it before he wanted to. In other words, when I mean throw it before he wanted to, in other words, what Calic Manis wanted to do is he wanted to roll right, set his feet, and then make the throw. And the tight end's wide open. Well, he has no chance to set his feet. He just throws on the run, and he threw it high off his hands and incomplete. It was then the single ugliest made field goal I've ever seen. I was like, oh, my God, he missed it. That's what I said in the booth. I said, oh, my God, he missed it. And I looked at it and said, oh, it's good? And they showed the replay. It cleared the crossbar by a foot, and it cleared the upright by 6 inches. It was like as bad as you can get. That was good. So then when you look at the second play that they run, and Brian, who had a big game, Brian had not had a 200-yard passing game until Saturday night. And Kurtz, the wideout, had never had a 100-yard receiving game. He had over 200.
200, yeah.
All right. Wow. But he hit Charlie Mangieri, the tight end, in the end zone, open for a touchdown, and they won the game. Look, this group at Northwestern is playing with house money. What do they have to lose? Seriously, what do they have to lose? Does anybody sit there and think that the staff's back unless they run the table?
Right.
What do they have to lose? The players are like, hey, look, 11 a.m. start. I'm going to guess 25,000 people.
Yeah.
So you got to go in and you got to bring your own juice. You got to bring your own. It's just a fact of life. I'm not sitting here going, oh my God, this guy. I'm telling you what the facts happen to be going into the game. Okay. Brian transferred from Cincinnati, not a bad player. Cam Porter, tailback, like him a lot. I do. Always have liked Cam Porter. Kurtz gone out, played well. Like the three tight ends. Lang's good. Mangieri's good. Third guy, actually, Gordon. Gordon's probably the best of the three. Defensively, those two linebackers are terrific. I like their nickelback Rod Hurd a lot. 24, good player, really good player. Johnson, the one corner, really good too. So it's not like they don't have guys. They got guys. Yeah, they're 2-2. They got a win in the conference. They won last week. They show they can come back. And you got to go out, especially in the first half, tell them who's boss, and then finish the job in the second half, and then move on to the bye week. But you have to be ready to go. And I can tell you, when I walked out of there Friday, I knew they were ready to go. Last week. Knew it. Jack and I walked out of there and Jack said to me, he says, "What do you think?" I said, "You always tell Jevin a score." I said, "Yeah, Jevin Stone." I said, "I told Jev Lee 31-3. He goes, "Really?" He says, "Steve, I think they'll shut him out."
I had him scoring points too. I didn't have him scoring many, but I had him scoring points too.
But I'm saying that's what we thought when we were done watching practice on Friday. It's just a feeling you get. Now, the Steelers won last night. TJ Watt is a special talent. My goodness. Nobody can handle him. Nope. He and Bosa, Nick Bosa. I'd say Joey Bosa, but he's out of the line too much.
All the time. Myles Garrett a little bit too, I think.
Myles Garrett to a
an
point.
Extent, I think is on that list.
Garrett's not in the same category as Watt or Bosa.
No, I would agree.
He's a game wrecker. And Max Crosby, by the way, is really good for the Raiders. But my goodness, he's just a total game wrecker. And their secondary played well. And they got some big plays on offense. Let's give them credit. I mean, the Steelers, that was a really good win for them last night. They go on the road, and how about the crowd? 70% of the crowd.
Yeah.
I mean, the Raiders are out there on offense trying to deal with noise in their own building because of the Steeler fans. Then there's the Vikings and the Chargers. What the heck was that mess? I mean, I had NFL. I was working on the Northwestern game, so I'm just kind of like, it's on in the background for me, and I'm kind of picking up little bits and pieces. What is wrong with this guy? I'm talking about Brandon Staley with the Chargers. What is wrong with him? You're at your own 25-yard line.
With the lead.
In
the fourth quarter.
Right.
With a defense that's played well.
Punt the ball.
Yeah.
Give your defense. He got away with it. But what are you doing? I think there's less than 2 minutes to go, right?
Yeah. Yeah, there was, because that was Minnesota's last drive there. With a minute something left, I believe,
You hand them 40 yards on a silver platter. What is wrong with you? Analytics says, hey, over here in the back.
Common sense says.
Get the shredder. Common sense says punt the ball.
It baffles me.
James went for it on fourth down at the 9-yard line in the Dinkins touchdown pass. Jack and I are both saying go for it.
Yeah.
Right?
Big difference there.
And love the play call. Right? We're like, hey, say, great. And I saw Dinkins out there split out. I think they're going to throw the ball. Right? Iowa's not going to expect it. Okay, go for it. Right? And I will go back to the 2016 Big Ten Championship game. First half, it didn't work. Right? But Penn State's down 21-7. Things aren't going right. TJ Watt, of course, is playing on the other side for Wisconsin and is having a good game. He and Conley, the linebacker, both. Penn State went for it in its own territory, about the 40, 45-yard line, right? And didn't get it. Guess what? To this day, I said it was, at the time, I said I definitely would go for it. They need to change the tone of the game. They didn't get it. Today, I tell you, I'd still tell them to go for it.
Yeah, and they're near midfield.
I thought it was the right
Big
call.
Big difference there, too.
But it was like, but you're down 21-7. He was trying to change the tone of the game.
You got to get something to change the tone of the game.
Well, Wisconsin did get the ball, and they scored to make it 28-7. Okay.
Yep.
So, it really didn't work. So what? To this day, I still would have said go for it. Okay? Brandon Staley, punt the ball.
Terrible.
You're trying to win the game.
Yeah.
Don't tell me.
And you're ahead.
If we get a first down, we'll win it. Just knock it off. Look where you are.
You're down 28-24 in that spot with a minute to go. Go for it, no doubt.
Right?
But you're winning the game.
You're winning the
game. And then the other team needs a touchdown.
And
you're not talking about needing 40 yards for a field goal. The other team needs a touchdown in that spot. No way do you go for that.
And then Kirk Cousins in his own building.
Yeah.
Well, crowd noise was a problem. Yeah. Crowd noise is a problem. First of all, the Chargers don't travel anybody.
No.
Right? So it's your own fans.
They don't host anybody.
Right? I'm sitting here like, spike the ball, stop the clock.
Yeah.
Right? Now give yourself 2 chances at the end zone. Instead, the clock's running. Right? Well, what are you doing? Okay? You have one job. You're not going to class. You don't have study hall. You don't have team, okay? Your job is to do football. They work on this all the time. That's what you came up with? After working on it for 2 months? After having, how many years has Kirk Cousins played in the NFL? I mean, you know darn well how to play the game.
What, 2012?
What are you doing out there? They got one play.
Yeah.
Like
one play, forced it into the middle of the field, which you really can't do with no timeouts.
Of course not.
Through the interception.
And the clock runs out and
it's intercepted.
So now there's the Dolphins. I'm going to show my age now. Okay. Now, the record is 73, and that was in the NFL championship game in 1941? 1940, when the Bears beat the Redskins 73-0. Okay. And yes, they were called the Redskins then, so sorry, I'm not going to sit there and start playing games here with them.
Right.
That was their nickname.
Yeah.
Well, the Washington Redskins of 1966 have the regular season record. They beat the Giants 72-49. I was 8 years old. I watched the entire game.
The only one I remember that was a complete shellacking was a playoff game. That was, I think, the Dolphins were on the other end of it. I think the Jaguars beat them, 62-7 or somewhere around there.
But the 70, they came up 2 points to 72. I watched the game. Yeah. I saw it. Like, the Giants were so bad. Sonny Jurgensen went nuts. It's like it was. They had Taylor at wide receiver. Bobby Mitchell. They just crushed them. And I was a kid, a Giants fan. We got all the Giants games on CBS because I was growing up in Connecticut. And how come you weren't a Patriots fan? They were in the AFL, the Boston Patriots. Okay, they weren't even the New England Patriots back then. So I watched the entire game. And I'm like, 72-48, 49, whatever it was. And so I was a witness, at least on TV, to that game. Let me see, 1966, Giants, Redskins. There we go. And second highest scoring game in history, blah, 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 blah. Okay. Oh, good. They have 21 minutes on YouTube of it. I don't know if I want to watch that. Pro Football Reference. It was 72-41. Jeez, I gave the Giants 8 extra points.
I was going to say, you gave them extra.
I feel awful.
If books were open back then and there was a 30-point, you would have been in trouble.
It said the Vegas line that day was Washington -6.
They might have covered that.
I think they covered.
Might have covered that.
So I'm watching the game, 72-41. Let's see, team stats. Oh, this will be great. So what the heck was it? Scoring. Whitfield, A.D. Whitfield, 5-yard pass from Jurgensen. Whitfield, 63-yard run. Brig Owens, 62-yard fumble return. Then Alan Jacobs got the Giants on the board. A.D. Whitfield scored again, 1-yard run. Then Joe Don Looney scored. The Giants quarterback that day was a kid named Gary Wood. He scored on a run. Then Joe Morrison scored on a 41-yard run. How are the Giants coming back? All right, Charlie Taylor, 32-yard touchdown pass from Jurgensen. Homer Jones, 50-yard pass from Gary Wood. Charlie Taylor, 74-yard pass from Jurgensen. Ricky Harris, 52-yard punt return. Brig Owens, okay? Second touchdown of the game for the defensive back, 60-yard interception return. Then Aaron Thomas, the tight end, caught a touchdown pass from Tom Kennedy, the third quarterback. Dan Lewis scored on a 1-yard run. Then Bobby Mitchell on a 45-yard run. Oh, and by the way, just to cap things off, Charlie Gogolak came out and kicked a 29-yard field goal to get to 72. Washington scored 13 in the first, 21 in the second, 14 in the third, 24 in the fourth. The Giants were shut out in the first, scored 14 in the second, 14 in the third, 13 in the fourth.
You know it's bad when you say the word second touchdown for the corner.
Brig Owens scored 2 touchdowns.
That's when you know you're in a little bit of trouble.
Brig Owens scored 2 touchdowns on returns. Not good. Jeez.
You throw either 2 pick sixes or he has 2 fumble recoveries for touchdowns, you know the day's not going well.
Your days.
When a corner is your leading receiver, a.k.a. Ricky Manning in the NFC Championship when he played the Eagles, that's not a good sign.
That's not a good sign.
Not a good sign at all.
No, not a good sign. But yeah. I mean, it's not like Jurgensen went crazy. He only threw 16 passes the whole game. 3 touchdowns. Let's see, rushing. So Whitfield scored how many touchdowns in the game? I mean, the Giants are so bad. Gary Wood, 7 of 12. Tom Kennedy, 30. Golly, bad. 3 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. Really? Between the two of them? Oh, the game was awful. I'm watching this game. No. So Whitfield scored 2. He only rushed for 74 yards. Oh, well. Charlie Taylor, 6 catches, 124, 2 touchdowns. No kidding. Really? Homer Jones had 6 for 85. Homer Jones just passed away, didn't he?
Not long ago.
Yeah.
Yep.
Joe Morrison actually had 98 yards receiving and 59 passing. Joe Morrison was a good football player. He really was. Did anything the Giants asked him to do. But that was the high till yesterday. 70 points by the Dolphins. They could have scored a billion.
They could have scored. Yeah, they called out the dogs, and they were still scoring.
And that was against Washington. So Washington now is the only team in the history of the NFL to give up 70 points twice because they gave up the 73 of the Bears in the championship game.
Yeah. Sean Payton, and as an offensive-minded...
Oh, that was the Broncos. The Broncos.
Yeah, Broncos.
Broncos are just awful.
Washington did a good job embarrassing themselves yesterday, too, with the 5 interceptions. But, Hal was terrible. But, Denver, to me, I think you look at what they did to bring Sean Payton in, this team is still not where they need to be. And that was before yesterday. It was before they gave 70 points yesterday.
But it's going to take a long time for them to get there because of all the collateral they gave away for Russell Wilson.
Yeah, because of all they gave away. You bring an offensive guru in. Is Wilson better? Yeah, I think he's gotten a little bit better. But you're in a spot now where, look, Nathaniel Hackett's not there anymore. He's not to blame. You are a team that has a lot of problems, and you're right. Part of that is... what you gave up to get Russell Wilson. Notice, since Deshaun Watson, who played better yesterday.
Let's give Watson credit. Watson, who has been really no better than mediocre for Cleveland since he started playing last year, was actually really good yesterday.
Played great yesterday. But after those 2 trades, and after the debacle with the 49ers with Trey Lance, you're really not seeing teams openly saying, all right, we'll give you 4 first-round picks for this guy anymore. Yeah, you're realizing the value of draft capital now at this point, because when you see that happen, you see your franchise set back a little bit. Now, the 49ers are very fortunate, obviously, because they drafted a quarterback late in the 7th round, that Mr. Irrelevant, that just happens to be their starter right now.
Right.
But, the other 2 right now, and Browns, I think, jury's still out, but you're looking at those players that you gave up that draft capital and gave them guaranteed money to the moon, and they're not getting the job done. They're winning 5 games. As a GM, you're looking and saying, hey, I'm not giving up 4 first-round picks for anybody.
No.
And prime example of that is what the Jets gave up for Aaron Rodgers this year. Yeah. It's going to end up being a second-round pick now because Rodgers is not going to get the, in terms of percentage of snaps. But, there's no question these teams are not going to be giving up 3 and 4 first-round picks anymore for a quarterback. And look, franchise quarterbacks are rare. I get that. Not rare enough that you're going to give up your draft capital for 4 years.
Yeah. Yeah. That's where I'll go back. This is something I did say last week, but I'll reiterate it. We all know Watson brings tremendous off-field baggage to the table, which makes the trade even more baffling. I think it's a slap in the face to your fan base.
Agreed.
It is also a slap in the face to the husbands and fathers. Is today National Daughters Day?
It
or something
is.
Like that? Okay.
Yes.
Well, this is a slap in the face to all the husbands and fathers, especially the fathers and daughters in that locker room. Like, who is this guy? This is our leader? Really? But there's another element that goes in as well, and that is, I think Houston saw a shelf life in Watson and felt he was nearing it anyway. And that happened with Seattle. Yeah. John Schneider and Pete Carroll saw the shelf life of Russell Wilson and said, you know what, I think we need to deal him. And the idea was, well, Geno, I don't think they, no offense, but I'm not obviously at a Seattle Seahawks practice, but come on, there's no way on the face of the earth they thought he'd perform as well as he did last year. Now he's been no better than okay so far this year.
Right. It was better yesterday, but still in the same boat, I agree.
But everybody knows he's a stopgap.
Right.
And it is, but there's a shelf life. Yeah. And the teams that have these players understand, like, okay, where the end happens to be. I know Brady, now Brady was 45 last year. But Brady was good last year, but he wasn't great. You could see the shelf life.
You could see it was
at the age of 45. So everybody has it. It's just a different clock.
Yep.
And for Wilson, you can see, number one, he can't move.
No.
Okay?
Nope.
Watson, he can't move. Neither one of those two guys, like a big part of their early careers was movement.
Yeah, absolutely.
And neither one of them could move.
Yeah, and I think a big part of that, you look at, this happens. And you look at lesser tier players over the years. And I say lesser, look, these guys were superstars. Lesser tier, meaning they're probably not Hall of Famers. Dante Culpepper's another prime example.
Yeah.
Couldn't move. Yeah. Michael Vick, you took away his legs.
Right.
Suddenly, their game changes in a big way.
Yeah. And that's what happened with Watson and Wilson. As time went, their ability to move has eroded.
Yep.
And neither one of them can move. And that used to be critical to allowing them to have some success, buy a little extra time, make some plays on the move. Not always. They could always throw from the pocket.
Right.
But they were able to make plays when they had to get out and move. Neither one of them can move anymore. And that's a big issue. Your Eagles, because secretly you're an Eagles fan. I know you are. No?
No. No,
why is it you like every Philadelphia team, but you never like the Eagles?
Never liked the Eagles. Never got into the Eagles.
Why?
I just grew up a huge Niners fan. And then obviously you go back to 1994 where they shellacked 40-8 at Candlestick Park. That made it worse. Fortunately, they won the Super Bowl that year.
Well, the Eagles play the Bucs tonight. Now, Baker Mayfield, let's give credit where credit is due.
Yep. Hasn't turned it over.
Mayfield's done a good job. Yeah. Hasn't turned it over. The game is in Tampa tonight.
Yes.
And we'll see how the Eagles play. The Eagles are 2-0. Philadelphia spent most of the day rejoicing Dallas's loss.
Yeah.
which I can't. Again, I didn't watch the game.
I did get the chance to see most of that one. I don't have an answer. I really don't. That's one game where, you're in the, those of you that do your survivor pools or whatever it is, I think I would have said there's a 75 to 80% chance Dallas wins that game, and that's the NFL for you. They come out and lay an egg. They trail 15-3 at one point and never caught up. I didn't understand it. Dallas played as well as anybody 2 weeks into the year in that game. So I can't answer it.
Well, I'll give Arizona credit because obviously
a lot of credit.
They had the Giants where they wanted them.
Yeah.
And then they blew the game. Mm-hmm. And the Giants, to their credit, came back, played well. Yeah. Barkley played great. Jones played great. And that's just... But Arizona had the lead.
Yep.
Well, after something disheartening as that, they go into Dallas and they do that.
Yeah.
Really? And you got to give Jonathan Gannon and Josh Dobbs.
I was going to say Dobbs especially. Dobbs has played incredibly well these last 2 weeks. Granted, it's at home, last 2 weeks, but still.
Look, the guy's not. Look, the guy's not. He's not a rocket scientist.
No.
Oh wait, he is.
No.
For those who don't know, you know what Dobbs' degree is in, right?
That I didn't.
Aeronautical engineering. Whew. He is a rocket scientist.
He is a rocket scientist.
That's why the running joke as well. He's not a rocket scientist. Actually, Josh Dobbs is.
Get the Cardinals to sign Myron Rolle. You get a Rhodes Scholar and rocket science.
I mean, Josh Dobbs is a brilliant guy.
Yeah, absolutely. And he's played great at home. Yes, but he's played great these last 2 weeks.
But yes, his degree is in aeronautical engineering.
I did not know that one.
It is really like this guy is like. Geez, I don't know if I want to interview him because I'm really not big on interviewing people smarter than me.
For me, that list is way higher.
Right, so it's like, okay, right. But yeah, that's so that's tonight. There are 2 Monday night games tonight. What the heck's the other one? The other one is what?
Who is the other game? It's Bengals and Rams.
Bengals and Rams.
Yeah, Burrow questionable.
Bengals questionable.
I agree. And look, under Zach Taylor, this is the MO. They have started slow, but this is a lot different this year.
There's an explanation here, isn't there, as to why there's... To me, the reason there are 2 Monday night games is quite simple. It's because they're trying to give ESPN more inventory.
Mm-hmm.
Here it is. They're trying to give ESPN more inventory on the $2.7 billion deal per year. The NFL finalizes current media rights deal in 2021. ESPN and ABC received additional game broadcasts, including an expansion of multi-game Monday night airings. The NFL has deployed Monday Night Football doubleheaders for years, usually to include games on both the West and East Coasts, but only recently has ESPN broadcast more than one of an overlapping schedule. That included this year's Week 2, Panthers Saints, Browns Steelers. He kicked off within an hour of each other. Week 3 won't be the last time Monday night features multiple primetime games. The NFL this year has scheduled a Christmas Day triple-header, which falls on Monday, marking the first time such a multi-game broadcast has occurred in league history. It includes the Raiders visiting the Chiefs, the Cowboys hosting the Chiefs. What? They got this whole thing wrong.
I know, obviously, Christmas night, the Niners and Ravens. I'm trying to think of who.
Well, it's Niners and Ravens are the last one. The Raiders are playing probably the Chiefs. The Cowboys, who knows, says they're hosting the Chiefs. That's why you know it's wrong.
Christmas Day is the Chiefs and Raiders. That's first game.
Right. Now that's right. It's the one that, who do the Cowboys play?
Definitely not the Eagles, because the Eagles are playing the Giants. Actually, I think the Eagles play the Giants Christmas Day.
That's the Christmas Day.
Yeah, I think Cowboys play Christmas Eve.
Yeah, they play Christmas Eve.
Yeah, they play the Dolphins Christmas Eve.
The Giants will play the Eagles because I've already made the joke that
Santa.
They're going to have Santa Claus and Dollar Dog Day as a promotion, and the fans in Philadelphia will throw the Dollar Dogs at
Dog Day
Santa.
at an NFL game. You're asking for it no matter where it is. It doesn't matter if it's Philadelphia or London, anywhere. You have dollar dog day in an NFL game, you're asking for it. But yeah, it is the Eagles and Giants that play Christmas Day.
I'm telling you right now, it's Dollar Dog Day with Santa Claus in Philadelphia. That is a winner.
The Phillies fans behave themselves on Dollar Dog Day, especially when they're losing.
No way.
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
Only there.
I laugh because nobody, fortunately, was seriously hurt, but my goodness.
We've gone through 54 minutes of the show. We've not mentioned Taylor Swift.
We might be the only ones that have gone through 54 minutes of the show. I like Bill Belichick's line. That may have been the best one of all. Well, if he's with her, that might be his best. He's had a lot of great catches. That might be his greatest catch.
Perfect. Somebody in my class asked me about it today, and I said, well, she is a person. She's allowed to date people.
Yeah. She's dated her fair share.
Right. But I'm saying, I was like,
Yes.
okay, why not him? I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, I've never been in the same room with either one of them.
No,
so I have no idea.
I have been in the same room with Taylor Swift back in 2007 when she played at Sovereign in Reading. So I will say I've been in the same room with her back when she was first up and coming. Not the Taylor Swift of today.
No.
But I have not been in the same room with Jay.
I know she's played here.
She's played here, yes.
I know she's played at the Jordan Center because I walked past. Like they have a myriad. They have a bunch of pictures down below.
Yeah, played here. Sold out show. Yep.
Down in the lower level, which the fans don't get a chance to see.
Right.
But when I'm walking in either for a game or practice or something like that, there's I walk by a bunch of pictures and I've seen her picture up there. So I know she's played here. But I don't know if she's ever been to a football game here.
I doubt it. And she's from Wyoming.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
But I don't want to say I doubt it, but I to my knowledge, not.
I mean, who knows? I don't know if she ever came up here as a kid.
I was going to say, as a kid, maybe. Well, she was literally the celebrity Taylor Swift, to my knowledge. I don't think so.
Yeah. And they kept showing her over and over and over again. I was watching Red Zone, so
same.
And he finally scored the touchdown, but it made it 41-0.
Yeah, literally.
It's like it was the equivalent of the Bob Uecker line of I hit a grand slam once. It made the final 13-2. It was a big hit. It made the final 13-2. It's like, well, that's about what happened with this.
Pretty much.
Kelsey finally scored a touchdown in the game, and it made the final 41-7. Great.
Yeah, you got to give the Bears credit. 41-10. They scored 3. They got that touchdown at the end there.
Now, to Kelsey's credit, I know you love George Kittle, but he's the best tight end of the game.
Yeah.
Because when you go into a game, and I've got Deebo Samuel and Ayuk outside of me.
Yeah.
They're better than
McCaffrey in the backfield.
And they're better than the wide receivers Kansas City has. So when you go into a game and you game plan, this is obviously when they had Tyreek Hill, you couldn't make that case.
Agreed.
Right? Who's the one guy you have to cover? Like no question, you can't let this guy get open. And Kelsey gets open all the time. How he does it, how they scheme it, I have no idea. I mean, I'd have to really watch an all-22 for hours and have it explained to me how he does it. But that's the one guy you can't get open. He always gets open. Really? Wow. Yeah. That was, I guess that was the league's feeling pretty good about itself after that one.
Oh, yeah. Yep. Yeah, no question about that.
Wow. Did the writer's strike finally end?
Did it finally?
I don't know.
I don't know. I'm not sure. I did not get a...
Tells you how helpless those late night hosts are. They're obviously not ad-libbing anything.
No. Yep, writers reached tentative deal 12 hours ago. There you go.
There you go.
And I'll tell you, and then that's a big reason why, ABC is going to get more Monday night, not more Monday night games in the sense that they are scheduling more games for Monday night. They're getting the games that were going to be on ESPN for that reason.
Right. Ryan says here, strikers near end, or strikes near end.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so, yeah, about that. Somebody said, and there's no late night. I don't watch late night TV.
I don't anymore. I did when I was growing up.
Okay.
I haven't watched it in years.
No offense. There are no Johnny Carsons
Not Johnny
David
Carsons
out
or
there
David
right
Letterman's
now.
anymore. Nope. Not even Jay Leno's. Nope.
It's like, no.
Nope.
You just, it tells you a lot. We can't go on. Okay. Yeah. Obviously, we aren't ad-libbing that monologue, are we? No. Well, we ad-libbed this entire show.
That's right.
And you're probably wondering, you should have scripted it. All right, you guys need the writer's strike to end. We thought Jason delivered his lines really well.
That's
you
right.
were a little shaky, Steve.
That's right.
Right?
And then the prompter crashed, and that was all she wrote.
You need writers. Right? Great. Ask Pat Urban if he could write one for it. No. Jerry uses all very simple words because that's what he's got. Jerry Valeri loves when I include him in the show. All right. We'll talk to you coming up tomorrow. Are you back tomorrow?
I think Kyle might be back in tomorrow. I know. I was thinking that. I can't believe the ovation that just erupted out there. My goodness.
When are you back?
Should be the following week. And it's an off week, so you got me Wednesday, too. How about that?
The hits just keep coming. As you can tell, we have a good time.